Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inappropriate Movie Database, the comedy game show about content warnings. I'm your host, Nick Martucci. I am so excited to do this episode. This should be a fun one tonight. This is the second time we're doing remakes on the show. Before we get to that, though, if you're new to the show, or if you're not, and you're just not a part of the Facebook group, and you're on Facebook, you should join the Facebook group. If you go right now to Inappropriate Movie Database or click the link in the description of this video, that's like the community of this show. That's where most of the players hang out. That's where I book the show for the most part. So if you want to be a part of this show, that's a great place to go. And if you want to be on the show, I'm still booking. I think I still have a couple of spots for the remaining weeks of August. So if you're looking to get on this show very soon, if you've never been on, or if you haven't been on in a while, or if you just you like being on and you're one of those people who's on all the time and is not on this episode and just watching, you should go to that page now. At the top of the page, you'll see an August booking post. Go there, see if you want to be on any of those shows. If not, I will start booking for September soon. I can't believe August is nearing its end, and time has no meaning. So we're going to keep doing this show until the world burns. This show tonight, like I said, remakes. It's the second time we've done it. I hope that the movies I've chosen tonight aren't going to cause arguments, whether they are remakes or another adaptation of the same source material. There is some questions in there. I did a lot of research and ignored most of it, so hopefully people won't be angry at me. Only one way to figure that out, and that's to bring in tonight's guests. Joining me on the show tonight are Jessica Mayotte, Liz Estey, Mike Giordano, and Sammie James. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Let's start off with returning champion, I believe. Spoiler alert for the last episode if you missed it. We did movies that feature proper places, and this guy kind of ran away with it. Mike Giordano back on the show. Hey, Mike.
Hey, how's it going?
Going good. How are you?
Good. I feel like I'm in more for an actual challenge tonight. Where at least most of these contestants, I don't think purposely sabotage their own score the entire show. So
I can guarantee you that at least one has been known to.
Oh.
You can figure it amongst yourselves which one of you that is.
I have no idea. I have no idea who you're talking about.
No.
Now, behind you, is that the white internal affairs?
Oh yes, yeah. The first remake that I think of when I think of remakes is the greatest remake of all time, where you just take everything about a movie, change everything except just the plot, and that's it.
That's The Departed. If you don't recognize the. I'm also saying it for myself to make sure I can see those tiny faces on my screen.
Oh, you got to recognize that skyline in the back, no matter how little of it you get. You know.
That's true. So that would be your pick for remake. Have you figured out the question early on this? This game?
I think that would be my pick. Especially since I watched it so many times before I even knew it was a remake, or that it was not really accurate representation of Boston.
Well, good choice.
Oh, yeah.
Also returning to the show tonight, it's been a while. So happy she's back. Jessica Mayotte returns. Hey, Jessica.
Hello.
How are you doing tonight? I'm doing well.
I just got home from grocery shopping, so we're good.
Oh, fun. So you're all stocked up now.
Food is good, yes.
Well, Jessica, since I didn't get to fully ask the question of Mike because he already answered it for me, what's a remake you really like?
I like a lot of movies, but I'll just pick the one that I've watched like twice in a row. Like last 2 nights is The Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan. I don't know why I like it, but I like it.
That's a double remake I found out just doing research for this show.
Interesting.
Uh-huh. I want to say German or French or something.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I was looking into like remakes because I wanted to refresh my memory, and I saw like a lot of movies that I like were like originally French, I think, and then to American or vice versa. So I thought that was kind of neat.
But yeah, that's just a fun movie with the worst divorce proceeding, I think.
Yes.
Somebody was talking about it on Twitter, and I wish I could remember the name recently, where they're like, so this is a movie about a divorced couple who's like, all right, fine, I will take only one of my children and never see the other again for the rest of their lives, but it's okay because they look exactly alike.
Exactly. Smart. Smart.
And they had like vineyard and fashion money. They could have afforded plane tickets.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, Jessica, welcome back. Also returning to the show tonight, not only to the show, but to remakes. She was on the first remake episode. Liz Estey returns. Hey, Liz.
You're welcome.
Hey, I totally forgot that I was on the first remake show. But I'm so glad I could return. That was totally intentional. And I'm really into continuity.
Well, the show itself is sort of a remake of that episode. Some of the original cast is returning. But we're going to do it just different enough that it's its own episode.
There you go.
Well, since I've already asked you whether or not you remember what your favorite remake is, I'm going to ask you a different, harder question.
Oh, no. I was actually like sort of ready for the remake question.
Liz, what's a movie do you think should absolutely be remade?
Oh, that is a hard question because to me, I feel like the remakes that are best are like mediocre movies with strong concepts. Like, and that's when you really get like a remake that could be amazing. Oh no, what am I gonna say? I think at one point they did announce this, but like they were gonna do like a gender swapped Splash with Channing Tatum.
Oh yeah.
So I would really like to see that. I would really like him to be like a himbo.
Yeah. I want to say Rebel Wilson was attached to the Tom Hanks part or something like that.
Oh wow, yeah, that's. I mean, I always think of them as the same.
That'll be a fun time.
Like, I don't care if it's actually good, but I feel like it will at least be interesting.
Yeah, they can do that.
Pro tip: I personally, I mean, it was like tailor made for me to enjoy it. But Channing Tatum gave an excellent performance in The Lost City of. I think it was just called The Lost City. The movie with Sandra Bullock
in that movie,
and Daniel Radcliffe like chewing the fuck out of the scenery as a billionaire. It's like literally my dream film.
It's like so 2/3 of a great movie.
I thought it was good.
I don't know. It dragged a little bit for me towards the end. But
that's fair.
There's so much fun stuff.
It was so fun, and it felt like, and I don't know, I for whatever reason just felt like I hadn't really had like fun watching a movie in a while. Well, I had fun at Dune because I was literally like, "Fuck yeah!"
And to spoil it for you, that was your answer for remakes.
Oh, okay. I agree with myself. It's coming back to me now.
You found a way to get it back in.
So we would call Dune a remake then, for the purposes of this show.
Again,
I would call it
a remake.
A remake of that movie.
I mean, obviously, it was based on the book. Obviously, Mike. Thank you. Yes, we know
the book is way better.
Just to kind of clarify my thought process, if there was only like one or two other adaptations before, I consider it a remake. If it's something like a Shakespeare play or like Christmas Carol or something where there's constantly new versions coming out.
So if it's public domain, can't be a remake.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say, because I'm not looking at my full list right now, so I don't want to make that claim. But again, These themes work best if you kind of think of them and then ignore them.
So,
We'll see. I did
so
such a good
answering
job at that. I
Muppet
forgot.
Christmas Carol for everything, not going to get me any points.
Finally, returning to the show is somebody who was on the previous Remakes episode. Sammie James returns. Hey, Sammie.
Yeah, like honestly, I thought when you said that
Uh-huh.
before, I thought it was leading into me, and then talking to him, just like, was I on that?
And
You
I
sure
remember
were.
being on there. I'm just like, and guess what I would I think
I don't know. I feel like
Liz.
Sammy and I
don't know.
end up on a lot of the same
We do.
shows. So
Yeah, I
then
mean, it makes sense. I'm just like, yeah, I was probably with Liz, sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I like to keep you on your toes, Sammie.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back. I'm going to ask you the same hard question I asked Liz. What's a movie you think should be remade?
You know what? You were asking Liz this, and I had what I think is a different answer to the other question but ready, but that, it's a movie I just rewatched recently. I don't remember what year it came out because I never do. But you know what I think would be an interesting one to remake is if you've ever seen Breaking Away.
I have not seen Breaking
Oh.
Away. I've heard it's
It's
great.
a kid on a bike.
Yes. Yes.
There's way more to it. I love that movie. But like rewatching it for the first time in a while, it's just like, huh. They could adapt this.
It's a fun show. That's a movie I know I should see. I feel like it doesn't get brought up a lot, but the people who bring it up love it. Is that fair to say?
I think so. Yeah.
I've never seen it, so
All right, I'm going to add it to my list as I add a million movies to my list, and I think I've watched.
It's one of those beautiful, like 70s or 80s movies. It's one of those. It was one of those decades movies about lying to get someone to go out with you. Just like there's more to it than that, but that's definitely a part of it.
Well,
when you just pretend to be Italian. It's like,
I mean, I've been doing that for 30-something years. I'll ask you though, real quick, what's a remake you like? Since Liz already had her answer.
Yeah. And this came to me when I was really like 2 hours ago when I realized what the topic of this episode was. I looked up just a list of remakes that I will have all left my head except for this one. If you haven't seen Werner Herzog's Nosferatu, it's pretty good.
I have not seen it, and
I'm sure there's some reason that it's not like a.
I gotta see more. I haven't seen any of his Klaus Kinski films.
Oh,
and I've seen so many stories about the two of them. I went down a Werner rabbit hole a few weeks ago of just watching interviews with him. And if you've never seen it, Werner Herzog on David Letterman talking about the filming of Fitzcarraldo is amazing because Letterman has no idea what to do with him. Well, excellent choices all around. Thank you all for being on the show. You all know how it works. If this is your first time watching, here's what's going to happen tonight. I have gone to IMDb, the internet movie database, and I have pulled parental warnings for a bunch of movies they made and then they made again a second time or a third time. These parental warnings, don't know who writes them, will never know who writes them. I really wish that at this point I would have had one person reach out to me and say, hey, I'm responsible for some of that nonsense. But I don't know. It's a group of people that operate only on a website, and I'm not positive any of them understand how the internet works. That's just a base assumption I have. So
I
even know
don't
if
think they
know.
exist, Nick. I think they are all written by bots.
Yeah, there you go.
They're all written by me. No, I've never written any of these. I will say, I've got a master doc of every movie that I can use. 1 page per movie. I added some movies for this show. Right now, this document has 1,003 pages.
Oh my God.
I have found clues for over 1,000 movies, and this show should probably end at some point because I don't know what that's doing to me internally. But we're only going to get to 12 tonight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read these warnings. My friends here are going to try to figure out what movie these warnings are from. Like I said, all of these are remakes, arguably. Please don't argue with me. I'm fragile. And I think I've explained the show enough. So the only thing to do now is to jump into it. And to do that, Jessica, you're up first. Would you like a movie from 1990, 2008, or 2013?
2008.
2008. All right. First movie of the night from 2008 for 5 points under the cat. Sammie, really? I'm not going to ask you yet. I'm going to read this. I guarantee that this is probably something else.
Oh, I'm sure. Absolutely.
But
listen, I stopped trying about like the 14th time I was on this, and that was like 12 episodes ago.
Well, from 2008 for 5 points under the category of sex and nudity. As a woman crawls toward a camera, we can see down her shirt, and cleavage is evident. Well, we got 2 hands up. Sammie, I'm going to go to you first, just because you're early.
Yeah,
What do
see,
you think?
I had a different, and I feel really bad because I think I know the movie that this remade, but I don't know what this is called.
Wait, Sammie, I had the reason I didn't raise my hand is because I was like, I think I know what this is a remake of, but I don't know what the remake is called. But
Well,
go ahead.
let's see what you can do, Sam.
It's God damn it, the remake isn't still called Wreck. So it's I don't
we were thinking
but listen, I wanted to just I thought 2008 was the year that Awful Wolfman came out. I was gonna say that, but I'm gonna say the remake of Wreck. You aren't gonna take that, but
Mike, what do you think?
I'm pretty sure I'm wrong as well, especially with the cleavage part, but The Ring?
It is not The Ring.
Okay.
Nick, I recommend going to the next clue so that you can hear me make up an answer.
Let's go to the next clue. It is a clue that is going to help none of you.
Oh, great.
For 4 points under frightening and intense scenes, well, this movie is an American remake of a Spanish film. It's not nearly as scary or bloody as the first film.
Yeah, all I know is it's a way worse movie.
Right, exactly. It's a worse version.
It's a bad version, like the most American horror.
I think I have to do something because we are just going to circle around this train.
Okay,
does
Nick.
Anybody want to? I'm gonna go first person to raise their hand gets to guess what the name of this movie is for 4 points. Liz, what do you think?
I think it's called Quarantine.
Liz, it's called Quarantine.
Oh my god!
I know it is. That's what the heck.
Ah, I can't believe it.
A movie that probably got a spike in viewership over the last couple of years.
Oh my god.
Sammie, I would have given it to you if nobody could pull the name. But Liz sniped in with that
I truly don't know how that came to me.
That
I was like, That can't be what it's called.
The original
That's-
is
Okay.
called
Good night,
Rec.
folks.
Yep, as in record.
Oh,
REC.
Rec.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
I've seen
Yeah.
both of them, and I forget. Yeah, okay.
Figure
this-
it's not worth it to drag you through these clues to try to remember this name. But awesome. Well, let me just tell you what other clues were in Quarantine, which of course is a remake of Rec from 2007. Under frightening and intense scenes, the ending is entirely a night vision, very intense and suspenseful. Violence and gore, extremely violent and creative. At one point, a zombie's face is repeatedly beaten with the lens of the camera, providing crazy,
Have
gross, and
rabies.
interesting visuals. And frightening and intense scenes, the film maintains a very strong sense of terror throughout as characters are chased by zombies. The confined space of the film really heightens the terror, and the documentary style adds realism and immediacy to the threat.
It's a raid virus. Sorry.
So, Liz, I will give you the full 4 points for that.
Oh my god.
Jessica, you're at 0. Mike, you're at -1. Sammie, I'm so sorry, you're at -1.
It's fine. It's okay. I'll stay
You
here.
could have said nothing on the 5-point clue and tried to hope that nobody else could figure out exactly what movie this
I'm
is. But
sorry.
you gave away the game.
Have you had me on this show? maybe sixth time on the show, Sammie would have.
All right. Well, Liz, you get to pick the next movie. Would you like a movie from 1979, 1982, or 2007?
I guess 1979.
1979.
I've started going for chaos with my years because every time I think I'm gonna get it, I don't get it. So now I just
All right, for
Man.
5 points under frightening and intense scenes from 1979. The film begins with footage of real mummies and petrified corpses and could disturb some viewers.
What year is this?
1979. For 4 points under violence and gore, a man is chased through a castle by another man who presumably wants to kill him. I think that's a fair presumption. All right, Mike, what do you think this movie is?
Is it Werner Herzog's Nosferatu?
This is Werner Herzog's Nosferatu the Vampire. This is
Motherfucker!
Sammie's favorite remake.
Which I only
I
just
thought.
found out
Listen,
was
I
Werner-
was
a Werner
thinking
Herzog
it, but
movie.
I either guess without clues or I wait a while.
You only wait a while on the movies that you know.
Yep. Yep.
This is just Sammie, you're making me sad tonight.
It's fine. It's fine. You know what? You know what?
There you go. Exactly.
That's staying up.
Other clues in Nosferatu the Vampire. Under violence and gore, a man cuts himself with a knife. He is used to cut food. We see some blood on his finger. Another man comments that the knife is old and the man might get blood poisoning from the cut. So he jumps on the man and sucks the blood from his hand. Violence and gore, a woman is in the bathroom while a man sneaks up on her. There's no reflection in the mirror. Over the next few scenes, we see a lot of coffins being carried around and dead animals on the street. People say it's the plague. Frightening and intense scenes, the vampire in the movie is very frightening, with long fingernails and pale skin. A man goes insane. We see him laughing and screaming hysterically in several scenes. Town is overrun with rats. Whenever the night falls, the movie gets really intense. Remake of the 1922 Nosferatu. Liz is at 4 points. Mike is at 3 points. Jessica's at 0. Sammie at -1. Mike, you get to pick this one. Would you like a movie from 1993, 2010, or 2021?
Let's do 2021.
Let's do 2021. Let's do a recent movie.
Oh God, I can't do like the last 3 years. It's all the same.
Yeah, I once did an episode of movies from the last 5 years, and it was a disaster.
I was on that show.
Uh-huh. Felt so bad. I had like a guest who had like some acclaim, and really put him off of the show, I think. Anyway, this movie came out last year, 2021, for 5 points under profanity. Only a handful of F words. Characters refer to another as a, quote, frozen-faced bitch. Nothing severe or frequent. Not much other profanity is used. If so, then only very mild or old-fashioned language.
Huh. You know what?
Are you going to take a guess, Sammie?
You know what? Yeah.
I got one too.
I'm going to let Sammie guess first, just because the hubris.
I don't think it count. I don't think it counts as a remake. It's like not a remake. But wait, so can you repeat the clue?
I sure can. Only a handful of F words. Characters refer to another as a, quote, frozen-faced bitch. Nothing severe or frequent. Not much other profanity is used. If so, then only very mild or old-fashioned language.
Oh, okay.
No, you know what? I'm already I'm low score. I don't think I saw it. I don't think there's that amount of cursing in Cruella. But
Mike, what do you think?
The Heathers?
It is not Cruella, and it is not, I believe that was a TV show of Heathers.
Oh, it's a show. Okay.
Where they're like,
I didn't watch
well,
it.
what if we made
it was
all
like
the-
2017.
What if we made all of the canonically worst characters as diverse as possible, so the
Yeah.
diversity is bad,
I
and that the
remember.
white girl is the nice one?
Yep.
What a choice. For 4 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, various characters smoke cigarettes, including Carlisle, Lilith, and Xena. I love throwing character names when I'm not sure if anybody remembers character names. Liz, I'm going to go to you first. What do you think?
Rebecca.
Sammie, what do you think?
Oh, that's probably the right answer, but I'm gonna say Death on the Nile.
It is not Rebecca. It is not Death on the Nile.
Okay.
Then I am at a loss because that's the other one that I was like, well, maybe it's that.
Yeah, right? Same.
Yeah. We agree.
We've been
For 3
except
points.
for our points. We've been playing the same game.
For 3 points under frightening and intense scenes, there's a scene where an animal has its head bitten off. There's lots of blood in this scene.
Oh.
Okay, for 2 points under frightening and intense scenes, the beginning features a walk through a demon-themed carnival attraction. This may be frightening.
It's still 2021, right?
It is still 2021. At least it is in my head.
Oh, now I can't remember what it's fucking. Now I can't remember what it's fucking called, even though I've seen it a bunch. I've seen the original. I've seen the remake. Oh, Death.
Okay, Sammie, what is this movie?
Nightmare Alley.
This is the remake of the 1947 Nightmare Alley, also called Nightmare Alley.
Yep.
I did not know that was a remake.
Oh yeah, yeah, it is.
No, I should have watched it.
Okay.
Yeah, it might have gotten you points on a YouTube game show at some point. I mean, Sammie watched both of them, and it didn't actually get her any points. Final clue in that, under frightening and intense scenes, lots of weird and unusual circus folks. Liz is at 3, Mike is at 2, Jessica is still here at 0, Sammie at -1. You worked real hard for that 0, but I'm proud of you.
It's so hard.
I meant more Sammie worked hard for that 0. Sammie, you do get to pick this movie. Would you like a movie from 1994, 2005, or another 2021?
What were those again?
94, 05, 21.
94.
94.
Let me put that down.
From 1994 for 5 points under profanity, one exclamatory use of God. Quote, "Oh my God, we're going to hell." They apparently only had a problem with God and not hell. Surprising. For 4 points under sex and nudity, a drunk Santa Claus's naked butt crack is shown.
They remade that? Huh.
For 3 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, a half dozen Santas are shown in a bar drinking beer. A man is shown smoking and talking to a Santa.
Oh shoot! Why does?
All right, it looks like it's just Sammie. What do you think?
I had no idea the Jingle All the Way was a remake.
That's what I was thinking.
Not only is it not a remake, it
That's
came
not
out
the
2
year it
years
came
later.
out, we know.
It's a good guess.
It is a good guess.
It's really
There's a
not.
whole bunch of Santas in that movie.
Low score, baby.
For 2 points under
I want to
violence
have
and
an
gore.
accomplishment in this show.
Under violence and gore, a man is menacing to Santa. Santa strikes the man with his cane. The scene is not as harsh as in the original film. I see 2 hands up. Anybody else? All right, Mike.
I'm gonna be mad.
Okay, just Mike.
I'm
Mike,
gonna
what do you
be
think?
so mad.
I just had to think of Santa movie 94. It's Miracle on 34th Street.
Fuck me.
It is Chris
Marvel.
Columbus's
I
Miracle
almost said
on
that.
34th
I'm
Street.
so mad.
Oh,
Yes.
I mean, congrats,
I'm
Mike.
very mad that I didn't think of it sooner.
We're all mad.
I was like, that movie only had one Santa Claus.
No,
I
I literally had the same thought. I was like, wait, are there multiple Santa Clauses?
I've never seen the remake.
Me neither. That's
The
why I was
only thing I know
unsure.
about
I think
it
I've
is
only seen the remake.
the original is one of my favorite Christmas movies. It's like almost a perfect movie. The remake, I only know there's one clip of Mara Wilson, who stars in this one, on the red carpet at like, I don't know, 6, 7. And the interviewer just has a microphone in her face. So is there anything special you want Santa to get you for Christmas? And just the most serious little girl looks up at her and says, "I'm Jewish."
Oh my gosh. Yes. That's why it's called acting, honey.
Yeah.
Final clue in that, under frightening and intense scenes, story deals with whether Santa is real.
what do you mean?
Mike is at 4, Liz is at 3, Jessica is at 0, Sammie at -2. Well, Jessica, we're going to go back to you. Hopefully this is a movie that might help you out.
I'm trying, I promise.
Would you like a remake from 1995, 2014, or 2020?
95.
95. 1995 for 5 points, under violence and gore. A man drives his car into an oil tanker
cars in
and
that
it
movie.
explodes. All right, for 4 points, under frightening and intense scenes, a dead alien is seen. Quite disturbing.
Huh. You know
Yeah,
what?
why not? What do you think, Sammie?
Good. Now I can't remember what it's called. But I think it's the right answer. The fucking the H.G. Wells book. God damn it. The War of the Worlds. There you go.
Fuck, that's what I was gonna say.
Do you also want to say War of the Worlds, Liz?
I was gonna say War of the Worlds, not
Okay. Then I can
whatever
subtract a
you-
point from each of you. It is not War of the Worlds.
Hands gonna stay up.
Evil bastard.
I gave you the option.
I know, and I should have known that it was wrong because of that.
For 3 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, Kirstie Alley's character smokes in nearly every scene she's in.
Huh.
Wonderful, not problematic actress, Kirstie Alley.
Oh God.
She smokes
So
in
few
nearly
movies.
every
It
scene
narrows
she's
it down
in.
so much.
She's only in a few movies that might have a dead alien in it. Sammie, are you going to guess on this one?
You know what? Sure. I don't know. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. There was probably one in the 90s. Maybe she was in it.
Jessica, what do you think?
Is it Village of the Damned?
It is not Invasion of the Body Snatchers. First one came out in 1960 with the same title, Village of the Damned.
Yep. And I like that one too.
I like that movie, yeah.
I truly think the only thing I've ever seen with Kirstie Alley is the Look Who's Talking series
Oh, yeah.
of films.
Is this the
Yeah,
one with
yeah.
Christopher
Over and
Reeve?
over.
I think
Yes,
so.
yes.
Yeah. See?
She's
You know.
Kirstie
I just
Alley.
don't know when movies come out.
I want to say Kirstie Alley is in Search for Spock. I want to say that's a Star Trek she's in.
So okay, no, it's coming back to me. I think you're right. I don't know if she's in Search for Spock, but she might be in another one.
And she was fun in Cheers, but also it's too bad she never did or said anything after that. Also in Village of the Damned,
Veronica's
under
Closet
Violence and
Erasure.
Gore. A woman is mind controlled to lay on an examination table and eviscerate herself with a scalpel. Blood is not seen, but only the scalpel is shown cutting her. And Violence and Gore, children with psychic powers of an unknown origin force adults to harm themselves in a variety of ways.
Can you turn that down a little bit?
Mike is at 4 points. Jessica playing the long game now at 3 points. Liz is at 2. Sammie is at -4. Liz, would you like a movie from 2007, 2009, or 2011?
2009.
2009. (2009) for 5 points under profanity. A woman calls a teenage boy a, quote, little turd after he accidentally hits her with a basketball. All right.
Person saying.
That's a weird scene to
Mhm.
be in that horrible Wolfman remake, but if you're saying it happened, I believe you.
It is still not the Wolfman remake. For 4 points under Violence and Gore, a man sees another man standing on a bridge as if he's going to jump. A bus speeds by. The man disappears. The other man runs to the same spot, sees swirling water below, and falls in too. We see both men later, and they are not hurt.
Huh. Trying to think of a joke response.
It's a hard clue to do a joke response after. For 3 points under Sex and Nudity. There's a scene in a high school human sexuality class where safe sex, abstinence, and birth control are discussed, and condoms are distributed to the class. The female teacher comments that asking high school seniors to abstain from sex is like asking a porcupine to poop out goat cheese. A teenage boy grabs all of the condoms and notes that he will now have enough to get through the entire weekend with his girlfriend. Okay, Sammie, what do you
Yeah.
think?
This is an out of the box answer, but I feel like it is. It could be. Yeah, I think Are we calling Easy A remake of The Scarlet Letter?
Oh, that's a fun question. We're not in this question,
Okay.
and I don't think I would. But
it's I knew I was wrong.
It's honestly fair guess.
Yeah, Easy A was 2010, so you're not
Oh,
far
yeah.
I don't
fuck
know
you,
when
Sammie.
movies come out. Okay.
off.
For 2 points under sex and nudity, a woman and her husband, when he is trapped in another body, slow dance together. And there's some hugging and physical closeness, but no sex or anything like
Body
that.
swap movie. Body swap movie.
It might be a body swap movie. All right. Liz, what do you think?
17 again?
Mike, what do you think?
Oh, I was gonna say Freaky Friday.
It is not Freaky Friday. No men body swap in any of the Freaky Fridays.
The very end.
I
Father and
only
son.
just found out that 17 again is a remake of a Disney Channel Wonderful World of Disney movie from 1986 called Young Again, starring Keanu Reeves.
Oh,
In the
wow.
Zac Efron part. It's
Wow.
17 again.
Interesting.
I don't know why I watched that movie ever, but I definitely did because I was like, this sounds familiar.
You gotta keep up with all of Matthew Perry's movies. There's only so many.
Yeah.
That's a real short list.
2 of them are about yards. Final clue in that, under sex and nudity. Out of context, a very horrifying clue. A teen girl tries to have sex with the main character, not knowing that he is her father trapped in a teen's body. She's dressed very provocatively, stroking the side of his face and trying to get him to have sex. When he looks freaked out, she says, quote, "Oh, you want to play games? I can play games," and starts roaring at him sexually like a tiger. 17 again, a movie where a teenage girl tries to rape her dad. Fun family entertainment.
This is the issue
Better or
because, like,
worse than Back to the Future.
the body swap movies, they get real.
What is it in a body swap that really brings out the incest in screenwriters?
Or like disturbing power dynamics.
Yeah.
I mean, Freaky Friday, the Lindsay Lohan Freaky Friday has the whole weird, like, Chad Michael Murray subplot.
Liz is now at 4 points. Jessica and Mike tied at 3 each. Sammie at -6.
Cool. What's the lowest score?
I believe
I just want to know if it's
-34.
possible to get there.
I believe it's -34.
You got some time.
Yeah.
So if I guess on literally every point, I could
2,
get there,
3,
maybe.
4, 5. There is a possible -60 still on the board. If we go through every single clue and you guess wrong every time. So you only need to do that half the time.
I hope I don't get anything right. That's gonna really fuck me up.
Mike, first of all, the player who sabotages themselves has been revealed.
Yeah.
And now you get to pick a movie. Would you like one from
We'll see what Liz is
1995, 2000, or 2005?
2000.
2000.
That was never a question.
From 2000 for 5 points, under sex and nudity. In several scenes, there are references made to the main character's genital size, with innuendo about his size or preferring a larger size.
What year is this?
2000.
every movie in the year 2000.
Yeah, I'm like, that does not help.
Yes.
That entire era.
I know, that's why I
Like,
put my hand down. I'm just like, I need to think
Preoccupied.
about which one is definitely wrong.
Like, I don't
Preoccupied
even
with
think you can make a
penis
joke
size.
answer about this. It'd be like everything in the Oscars had this subject come up.
For 4 points under frightening and intense scenes, a brief but huge fire shows a brimstone-style image of the devil.
Oh,
2000.
Sammie might know this. Does
yeah,
anybody else
I
know
think
this?
I do.
Mike might know this. Anybody else? Mike, what do you think this movie is?
I'm going to say that Little Nicky is a remake of something.
Sammie, what do you think?
This is Bedazzled.
Oh,
This is not Little Nicky.
Oh,
that's right.
Sammy has already ruined her second strategy.
I really
of the
did.
night.
Oh my god.
You know
This-
what? Let's be competitive. I change on a dime, people.
Remake of the 1967 Bedazzled with Brendan Fraser and Elizabeth Hurley.
Oh man, I can't believe I forgot a Brendan Fraser film. What am I doing?
It's a good time.
Uh,
Maybe. I saw it when it came out.
I feel like just by the description and what I remember from the trailers, this movie is as 2000 as a movie can get.
Yes.
At one point, he's probably looking real cool in a suit that is just too big for him. I can just visualize that in my head. Also in this movie, under frightening and intense scenes, a woman is transformed to a huge demonic dragon and threatens to throw a man into the fire. She throws him in anyway. Alcohol, drugs, and smoking, and one of Elliot's wishes, he discovers that he is a drug lord when he finds and then tastes a batch of cocaine on his premises. We later see one of his subordinates with cocaine powder on his nose, while some miscellaneous men have drinks. And sex and nudity, the devil, played by Elizabeth Hurley, always wears sexy, provocative, form-fitting, and or revealing clothing throughout the production that nearly always show cleavage, as well as a dress that has an extremely high slit that briefly displays her underwear / bare upper thighs, a skimpy bikini, a mini skirt that shows the outside of her bare upper thigh, etc.
etc.
Bedazzling, if you would.
Liz is at 4, Jessica at 2, Jessica's at 3, Mike's at 2, Sammie's at -2. It's still like anybody's game, including, bafflingly enough, Sammie. Sammie is the one that gets to pick this year. Would you like a movie from 1990, 2013, or 2019?
2013.
2013. All right, from 2013 for 5 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking. A teen boy at a prom tells a teacher and his date that he heard the punch was spiked. A teen boy at a prom tells a teacher and his date that he heard the punch was spiked. See, Liz and Sammie, anybody else? Liz, what do you think?
Carrie.
Sammie, what do you think?
Also saying Carrie.
This movie's Carrie.
Yep. look at me, everybody.
Sammie has decided against going to a Josh Pick level failure and instead is choosing a Josh Pick style redemption. Carrie. That's a remake. Also under frightening and intense scenes. The girl
Second time that was remade. So yeah, no thanks.
That's true. Angela Bettis, is that actress's
They
name?
also made a horrible sequel.
The Rage.
It was not.
Frightening and intense scenes. The girl is frequently bullied. This may be intense for some viewers. Violence and gore. A woman bangs her head against a closet door from the inside and reaches through a crack in the door to break it open. This causes her fingers to bleed. Violence and gore. A teen girl uses her telekinetic powers to lift up a woman whose neck tightens. The woman gasps for breath. The teen girl spares her life. Violence and gore. A teen girl and a teen boy walk onto a stage while a man and a teen girl are in the rafters above the stage, struggle, argue, and release a bucket of pig's blood onto the teen girl, which drenches her in blood.
Wait, is this Firestarter?
Also remade recently with the star of 17 again.
Don't do it.
Don't.
I haven't heard a single good thing about it.
I
also-
haven't really heard anything about it.
I also
I
just
got Peacock to watch that movie.
Oh no.
I only recently saw the original for the first time.
Is it
And
good? It's good.
It's very good. You also watch it and realize, oh, that's what the Duffer Brothers watched. It's Stranger Things. It's 100% the entire plot.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
No, that's not where that's supposed to go. Here we go. Liz is in the lead with 9 points. Jessica and Sammie in second place with 3 points.
Okay.
Mike at 2 points.
Fall from grace.
I believe we are. We're already finishing up this game. We've got one more go around. 4 movies left. One more for each of you. Jessica, it means it's your choice.
Yep.
Would you like a movie from 1982, 1993, or 2007?
2007.
2007. From 2007 for 5 points, under violence and gore. Bridges are shot at and then break, and people fall into water. We hear people screaming and see a large explosion.
Okay. I'm gonna try actually playing this round.
For 4 points, under violence and gore, a man steps into a puddle. His foot is caught in a trap. He is then pulled off his feet, strikes his head hard on the ground, and dangles from one ankle in the air. Blood drips from his head.
Oh, I've seen this.
What's that?
Jessica has a guess. Anybody else? What do you think, Jessica?
Is it I Am Legend?
It is the third adaptation after 1964's
Nice.
Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price and 1971's Omega Man with
Yep.
Charlton Heston.
Nice.
It is I Am Legend.
I was going there.
Also in I Am Legend, under violence and gore, several violent scenes of a man fighting seekers and using guns and explosions. Violence and gore, dark seekers are people who were infected by a virus that turns them into zombie-like creatures. They are hairless humans with gray-tinged skin and pointy teeth that like to feed on other humans and will burn if exposed to sunlight. Frightening and intense scenes. Will Smith crashes his car, and the leader mutant climbs into the car and crawls right up into Will Smith's face and screams. Very intense and frightening.
Did they remake Day of the Comet? That's my answer to the question before. Remake that.
3 movies remain. Liz is at 9. Jessica is up to 7. Sammie at 3. Mike at 2. Still 15 points on the board. This still could go in any direction.
Everyone in the positives. I'm just saying.
All right,
My
Liz.
best efforts.
Liz, would you like a movie from 1994? Nope, not 1994. 2005, 2010, or 2021?
Let's do 2021.
Let's do another 2021.
Good luck, everybody.
Godspeed.
This movie also came out last year for 5 points under frightening and intense scenes. Several boys, obviously not trained in gun safety, throw around a loaded weapon with reckless abandon.
Oh.
Somebody has some thoughts. For 4 points under profanity, most of the profanity, I cannot speak tonight. Most of the profanity in the film is in Spanish and is not subtitled.
Oh.
Okay.
Huh.
I heard an O and then nothing.
That just might explain why I don't know what this is.
All right, for 3 points under profanity. Although the F word is not actually said, except for once at the start, there are 2 uses of F word substitutes. Quote, crup you, and quote, mother loving.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I see
Nope.
two people I think know it.
Nope.
Liz, what is this movie?
West Side Story.
Mike, what is this movie?
I was almost going to say Curb Your Enthusiasm because that's how I know it's West Side Story.
This is Spielberg's remake of West Side Story. I never saw the remake. I only saw the original for the first time like a few months ago.
Wow.
Not a fan.
It did not age well. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I assume most of their budget went to brown paint. Also in West Side Story, under violence and gore, Tony is repeatedly shot from behind and later dies because of the wounds. And profanity during the Jets song. There are at least a few F-bomb substitutes sung by a few of the Jets. 2 movies remain. Still anybody can get this. Liz is at 12, Jessica at 7, Mike is up to 5, Sammie at 3. Mike, would you like a movie from 2007, 2014, or 2020?
2014.
2014. From 2014, penultimate movie for 5 points, under alcohol, drugs, and smoking. A crystal meth lab is shown for about 30 seconds. All right, for 4 points, under violence and gore. A man is in an explosion. We later see a picture of his body covered in bandages with burned skin. A lot of quiet can't say any words. Contemplation.
What year is this again?
This is 2014.
2014.
All right, for 3 points, under violence and gore. There is a 3-minute shootout between the main character, Valen, and Valen's men, which takes place in the dark with Valen and his men wearing night vision goggles. Valen and his men are armed with 50 caliber machine guns. After the shootout, the main character turns on the lights and we see about 32 men, Valen and his men, lying on the ground. This movie has Valen and his men in it.
Huh.
Whoever that might be.
Like, did they remake The Professional?
For 2 points. Under frightening and intense scenes, it is very disturbing when we see the main character's organ/brain when he hasn't got his armor on.
What?
What is this?
All right, we'll go to the 1-point clue. Under violence and gore, in a violent and extended scene, The main character
No, I
undergoes
know. I know this.
Yeah, but I've already
I
started
know
reading
you
this
do. I
blurb.
know you do. I'm just excited.
The main character undergoes a training session where he shoots and blows up other robots. I guess it's just going to be Sammie.
Wait, oops, I'm trying to raise my hand. There we go.
Okay,
Oh.
I thought you were just surprised.
I was like, I
Jessica,
thought the
you got
name
nothing.
Balance sounded
No,
familiar.
no
All
idea.
right, Liz, what do you think?
RoboCop.
Mike, what do you think?
RoboCop.
Sammie, what do you think?
I'll be serious, RoboCop. I'll play. This and one more, whatever.
This is everybody's favorite version of RoboCop, the Joel Kinnaman RoboCop.
Oh God. I feel like I actually don't dislike Joel Kinnaman. I think they like he's really good in like television dramas. And like when they tried to make him a movie star, that's when things went awry. But like he's back doing television drama. And he's good at that.
They can't all be historians like Peter Weller.
Well, we're done to one movie. And the game's pretty much over, so we're going to do it for fun unless Liz wants to play. Liz, you're at 13. Jessica's at 7. Mike's at 6. Sammie's at 4. It's a fight for second place.
Yeah.
Sammie gets to choose this one.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like a movie from 1995, 2005, or 2019?
I was hoping for that 2020, but was that 2005? Let's do that. I have no idea what movies came out there.
All right, final movie of the night from 2005.
You two have fun.
Under Sex and Nudity. A woman sick with food poisoning wears a low-cut maroon dress revealing cleavage.
What?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
We are worried about what dress the woman with food poisoning is wearing.
I'm so confused.
What's the warning about?
it's such a clue.
It is under sex and nudity, so it is
nudity.
about her dress and cleavage.
So that's why it's so confusing that the fact that she has food poisoning.
It's maroon.
It is maroon. Do you remember a maroon dress on a woman vomiting?
Do we know why she had food poisoning?
Probably from the food she ate.
Yes.
For 4 points under sex and nudity, a reporter commenting on celebrations after a game states that he saw various topless women. We don't see them.
Yeah, just that woman in the marine dress.
So that clue again, a man says that he saw some boobs. Liz, what do you
They
think?
were
this
the
movie
woman
is?
in the maroon dresses.
Fever Pitch.
It is the second adaptation of a book that has nothing to do with it. This is Fever Pitch.
Finally, I got something out of watching that horrible film.
Yep, based on a Nick Hornby book about soccer, they made a movie about the Red Sox.
Well, I just felt like that was a period of time where I watched literally everything Drew Barrymore did.
She was putting out so many, at least decent rom-coms at this time. She had like a 5 or 6 year stretch where every other rom-com was Drew Barrymore.
And that was a great time for film for me. Except this movie. And I just still remember being like, how does anyone love Jimmy Fallon?
But now that time has passed, we all understand that he's the greatest comedic performer and host, right? Well, let's wrap up this movie so we never have to talk about it again. Under violence and gore, there's a scene where a woman gets hit on the forehead with a baseball. A large welt is later shown. Sex and nudity, a woman's chest size being larger due to pregnancy, is talked about while she is shown in part of the convo. A second woman talks about her own breast size. A man and a woman do some passionate kissing on a baseball field. Sex and nudity, the main character's friend find him disheveled and intervene, asking where he got a certain Red Sox videotape and then showering him. We see no nudity. His doctor friend is working at his crotch and he asks, "Why are you shaving my balls?" Boy, oh boy, let's never talk about Fever Pitch again. That was Fever Pitch. This was Inappropriate Movie Database. Our final scores tonight: Sammie at 4, Mike at 6, Jessica at 7, Liz running away with this game with, I think, might be a high score for her. 17 points, making Liz the winner tonight.
It's definitely a high score for me. And it is not expected at all. Just totally random high score.
Well,
These are not, if you had told me I would get my highest score guessing the movies that I guessed tonight.
I mean, you hosted the rom-com episode and you guessed a couple of those.
Yeah, I guess, but like, I don't know.
Also, go back and watch the rom-com episode that Liz hosted. And the movies that Liz has seen episode that Liz hosted. This was so much fun, everybody. Thank you so much for doing this. Before we go, if there's anything you want to promote, anywhere you want to be found, any last words? Mike, I'll start with you.
I can be found on Twitter at Air Giordano. It's just like my last name there, but with air in front of it. Not a space, not to be confused with a space.
Sammie, you got anything coming up?
Follow me on all social media at Sammie James. I run a monthly show the fourth Saturday of every month. I run a bunch of things, but this is the one that's coming up. So the fourth Saturday of every month, I run a show on Zoom with pay what you can tickets on Eventbrite called The Waiting Room. And that's in two Saturdays from now. That's August 27th. It's health and body themed comedy and storytelling. We got some great comics. We got Jackie Cation. We got Patrick Colbert. We got Ada Chen, great storyteller. We have a whole bunch of great people. Okay.
I think I have to watch that one. I love Jackie Cation. That's amazing.
Everyone loves Jackie Cation.
I keep hesitating DMing her for this. we follow each other. We've interacted, but that feels like absolutely check all of Sammie's stuff out. Jessica, do you want to say anything?
I'm just here.
I mean, I'm glad you keep coming back. Finally, our winner, Liz, do you have anything?
I think I'm doing The Waiting Room like in November or October. I don't know when.
You never actually responded to that, but sure, I'll put you on November.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I totally thought I did
I was
respond.
like,
I'm so sorry, Sammie.
no, listen.
I did not mean to leave you on red.
Like,
This is some aggressive booking.
it's just like,
Oh man. No,
I didn't
would
realize all I had to do was say I'm going to be on people's shows while they're in the room.
They have to honor it. It's the law.
No. I'm so sorry.
I think I filmed that. Actually.
Oh, it's okay. It's fine. I'm so sorry.
You can do this.
No.
It's like, I was
if
like,
anybody-
hey.
If anybody cancels,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, sure.
Or you can put me on whenever there's a spy.
Yeah.
At some
I'll
point.
grab
So,
you next time somebody drops out. Someone
okay,
drops
cool.
out every month. Okay. Someone will drop out. There are 6 people on this show because of the amount of people who have already dropped out and been replaced. I'm just like, let me.
Okay, all right,
Well,
cool.
look for Liz on October's
or
waiting
whatever it is. I don't know when it is, but Sammie does, and we'll tell you. No, my only announcement is I'm starting grad school soon. So if you could keep me in your like thoughts and prayers, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna die. But if for some reason I manage to like figure that out, I aspire, I don't know. I want to return to comedy, but I also hate comedy. So
That's
That's
the
fair.
healthiest way. That's the healthy way to pursue comedy.
yeah.
Nobody in
it's-
this room is arguing with you.
So at some point when I decide that I can like mentally withstand the toxicity of comedy spaces, I will return to tepid laughter and occasional applause. And I'll announce that on my Twitter at Liz Estey, and or my Instagram at Liz Estey. Don't go to Facebook. Unless it's for this show. But like my Facebook is nothing but sadness. Okay. And on that uplifting note.
Classic Liz.
On that uplifting note, I just want to say I have started like getting rid of all the stuff I depression bought. And it feels very good. So I highly recommend that if you are able to get rid of things that you bought because you were depressed and don't need and are just taking up space, it's really fun. I gave away a shit ton of jewelry on Facebook. Actually, you know what? Go on Facebook and look for my post on Everything is Free Arlington, because I have a lot of shit that I'm giving away in Arlington. So
wonderful.
And that's my promo. Keep an eye out. I got a lot of clothes I'm giving away. I'm really I'm trying to cleanse my space. So hit me up for that.
Perfect. Take Liz's free shit.
A lot of it is really nice. I just have too much.
Thank you once again, everybody. Jessica Mayotte, Liz Estey, Mike Giordano, Sammie James. I'm Nick Martucci. You can find me on all social media at Blundering Idiom. Find the show on Facebook. Search Inappropriate Movie Database or click the link in the description of this video. Also, Twitter and Instagram. If you don't like Facebook, you're right. At IMDb Game on those two. I need to stop doing this show. I can't say words anymore. At IMDb Game on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to be a part of this show, reach out in any of those places. Like I said, we still have a few spots left this month. We do this show 2 times a week, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern, Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll be back on Thursday with 2-word titles that I think will be a little easier to figure out than whether or not a movie is a remake. So if you like this game, subscribe, do YouTuber stuff, share this video with your friends, tell your friends to watch this show, or tell your friends to reach out to me and be on this show if you think they would enjoy this kind of nonsense. I want to keep building up this guest list so I don't burn everybody out. I still have 300 movies of these 1,000 movies to get through, so we're going to keep doing this for a while. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching, and have a good